6:33 now, a new focus on education this election season.
And for years, lawmakers have wrestled with how to fund public schools while trying to give property owners some relief. 3 News Now reporter John Kipper takes a look at several candidates offering their solutions.
Public schools are expensive, but Nebraskans expect them to be funded well. Almost every state senator or candidate running says they want to find a way to shift the burden off the backs of property owners and instead have the state pay for more of the public school costs. So how do we get there? First, let's look at the problem. Any homeowner knows paying property taxes is annoying, but for large landowners, it can be crippling.
About $51,000 a year.
Numbers from educationdata.com show the state pays for less than 1/3 of the cost per student, with local taxes making up over half. That's the average, but over half the school districts in the state get absolutely no equalization aid. Candidate for Governor Jim Pillen has called to balance that in some way. Republican Senator Kathleen Kauth, running in Millard, said the formula used known as TIOSA is outdated, and the state has used Band-Aids to fix problems in the past.
I personally would prefer to just set it aside or move into a sandbox and say, okay, if we did this, what are the ramifications? How does it affect everything? And figure out a better way to do it.
Now, the unicameral has made fixes. They put property tax credits in 2 separate funds in the recent years, one of which is over $500 million that property owners must claim. Senator Michaela Kavanagh, a Democrat who's seeking re-election, wants to take that money from tax credits, currently around $575 million, and use it for state education funding.
And so there isn't a new tax to create here. It's about reallocating funds in a more thoughtful and strategic and purposeful way that is much more transparent for the people of Nebraska to see.
Her Democratic colleague, Senator Wendy DeBoer, also facing re-election, said those tax credits passed are nothing to scoff at. But she said to find solutions to this very big problem, we need experience, a commitment to education, and she'd like to rework the formula to get more schools, more state dollars.
So lowering the amount that the public schools have to raise from property taxes before the state kicks in its fair share.
Republican candidate for legislature in Bennington, Christy Armendariz, said school administrators also have a role. In her experience, that hasn't always happened.
First and foremost is find out, are we actually spending what we need to be spending? And are there areas that we could spend less?
A problem with no simple solution, with lots of competing interests. John Kipper, 3 News Now.
Well, if you want to vote in the midterm election, deadlines are approaching. This is the last week that Nebraskans can register to vote. And those interested in registering can head to the Election Commission office before 6 p.m. Friday. That also is the deadline for requesting an early voting ballot. In Iowa, you can register and vote on Election Day, but the deadline for online and mail-in registration is today.